It's Two on the Aisle with me, Charles Gross and Jeff Goodman. Tonight, reviews of Wishful Drinking, Little House on the Prairie, the musical, Oleana, and Devil Boys from Beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two on the Aisle.
Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Two on the Aisle. I'm Jeff Goodman.
And I am the aforementioned Charlie Gross. Well, we have a lot to talk about today, so why don't we get right to it?
Yes, we do. And here's something we would really like to do. Some wishful drinking.
Indeed.
And something Carrie Fisher did do.
Carrie Fisher kind of beat us to it.
Yes.
Now, this is going to be, for Star Wars fans, I don't think it gets any better than this.
Well, not just Star Wars fans. I think for fans of Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher, too.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of old references, too.
Yes.
So it covers both generations. But I'll tell you, this is something that's been trying to come to Broadway for about a year now. And finally, I guess the Roundabout took a shot at it, which was excellent. And it turns out to be quite a little light entertainment, where Carrie Fisher seems to air out her dirty laundry right in front of us all. And especially in the first act, one of my favorite parts is the family tree that kind of becomes ivy and vines together.
Well, she kind of explains, I think her daughter was dating one of...
her granddaughter.
No, she doesn't have... Does she have a granddaughter? I don't think so.
Yes.
So someone in her... One of either her daughter or her granddaughter, I don't think she's got a granddaughter just yet, was dating, I think, Liz Taylor's grandson, possibly.
No, it was one of her father's ex-wives' adopted children. Oh, who knows?
I think it was her daughter dating Liz Taylor's grandson, something like that. And basically, her father was married briefly to Liz Taylor.
It wasn't Liz Taylor's grandson. It was the woman in that the middle picture.
Okay, well, it's
very
confusing.
It's very confusing, but very
and we
funny.
actually have some scenes from the show. So as soon as you guys are ready, let us know, and we'll roll that.
Okay.
Okay.
But I must say, this is something.
Basically, it's an autobiographical show.
It is. It's a light comedy.
Right.
I expected a little bit better from her, but it's very easy to sit through. It's very entertaining. Oh, and there's our logo. Isn't that nice?
All right. Well, come back to us. I guess we're not quite ready with the roll.
Why did you even ask to put in the roll-in so early?
Okay. Well, so that people could see what we're talking about.
Okay. Well,
never mind.
Let's start a new thought. What she does is very, very interesting.
In silk pajamas, I think they're silk, and a bathrobe.
Okay, but she starts out, the whole show starts out with these headlines.
Yes.
And then she talks about, she gets the worst one out of the way, which is one of her friends kind of dropped dead in her bed.
Yes.
Which I think, and I think the joke that she used there, I think sums up the entire evening of the way she presents herself. She said, everyone asked me, how did I feel when someone, dies in your bed? And she goes, well, at least he felt comfortable enough to die in my apartment. And I thought that was, and it really is a very comfortable evening. But of course, that's not the actual answer. You'll hear her actual answer.
She takes a very light approach and a very humorous approach to it. Well, not always as humorous as I would expect. Again, the writing is not as sharp as I would expect. It's very easygoing. It's a nice, pleasant chat with Carrie Fisher, except that she's doing all the talking. And she talks about Star Wars quite a bit. In fact, the thing that Star Wars fans will love, she does the whole "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi" speech.
Right.
In there, which she lists as things that she'd like to forget. She has a whole screen full of Star Wars merchandise based on Pricess Leia.
Well, she is a Pez dispenser.
Yes, among other things. But she actually does put on a Pricess Leia wig with the...
It's all very nice. Okay. The only thing that I think people should be aware of, not that it's very important, but it doesn't sound true to her own words. You can tell that someone wrote it, and even when in the credits it says created and performed by, it does not say written by Carrie Fisher.
Now that's interesting because she is fairly well known for her writing.
Yes.
She wrote the movie Postcards for the Edge. From the Edge, excuse me. And in fact, as a joke, they're saying the role of Carrie Fisher, normally played by Meryl Streep, will be played by Carrie Fisher tonight.
Okay, well, that's okay. We don't mind ruining a couple of jokes in the show. Anyway, but it doesn't, a lot of this doesn't, to me, did not ring true as to what she would be saying. It rings true as like this. She sounds like a gay man talking about her life a lot of time. It has very gay sensibilities in the show, I think.
Well, because one of the segments is about her husband leaving her for a man,
right.
So maybe that.
Well, no, but that doesn't mean she has gay sensibility. It's just, you could just tell it's not written by her. Not that that matters in the least.
I couldn't tell that.
And plus, I could. And plus, at times, it panders to the audience. It does play, but I think people will like this. I think, this is a nice, light comedy. We're coming into the holidays. Mm-hmm. You want to see something. You want to take your parents to something nice. You want to take,
Your older kids, not younger kids.
No, this is not.
This is PG-13.
This is Star Wars generation and above.
Yes.
Even the new Star Wars generation. What was it? Episodes 1, 2, and 3. Maybe.
Right. I don't know if you take them quite yet. Again, I wouldn't take anyone under 14 to see this.
But it's a very light, witty show.
But not as much as I expected it to be. And honestly, the situations she finds herself in are a little more common, with the exception of her whole family tree. That, I have to say, is not something you see every day. But men leaving their wives for men, that's a lot more common, perhaps, today than when it happened to her. 2 celebrities. She was married to Paul Simon, getting divorced. Again, you feel for her. She's been through a lot. But again, happens all the time.
Well, I feel that not only does she do that, but she lives through those magazines, like the scandal rags.
Like the Enquirer.
And she talks about her life on the Enquirer and everyone else in her family's life on the Enquirer. And she really goes into, one of the things I suppose she went into is her relationship with her father, which is not exactly a good one. And I thought that was pretty good. And
I'm not sure her relationship with her mother was so. I mean, they seem to have.
It seems like they have a fairly good relationship.
Right, but she says a few things about her mother, Debbie Reynolds, and you kind of wonder.
I love, darling, it's your mother, Debbie.
You kind of think Debbie may have been left out in the rain a little too long by Gene Kelly or something, because she makes a few suggestions to Carrie that you kind of have to wonder exactly what kind of a mother was she.
It's a very interesting family, and she'll at one point she gives us a tour of the house she grew up in. She goes, "Well, who didn't have 3 swimming pools?" You know what I mean? It's like she lived a very unusual life and very interesting life, and the stories are very interesting and a lot of fun to hear.
Do we have the roll-in ready?
All right, welcome class to Hollywood 101. Thank you so much for enrolling. All right, so. Over here, we have Debbie and Eddie. In the 50s, they were known as America's sweethearts. Now, for those of you that are younger, all 3 of you, and you can't relate to any of this, try to think of it this way. Think of Eddie as Brad Pitt, Debbie as Jennifer Aniston, and Elizabeth as Angelina Jolie. Does that help? That should really help. George Lucas was the man who actually made me into a little doll. A little doll my first husband could stick pins into when he was annoyed with me. Also, I was a shampoo where you could twist off my head and pour liquid out of my neck. And I was a soap which read, "Lather up with Leia and you'll feel like a princess yourself." The main thing that I have been made into, which, I mean, it has enhanced my life immeasurably. I'm a Pez dispenser. Yes. I know, yes, I am. Now, if someone offers to make you into a Pez dispenser, do it! Because it just makes everything better. Now, this will really, really impress you. I am in the abnormal psychology textbook. How cool is that? Now, keep in mind, I am a Pez dispenser, and I'm in the abnormal psychology textbook. Who says you can't have it all?
Okay, well, you can see she's put on a few pounds in Star Wars, and honestly, she sounds more like my cousin Lucy than Pricess Leia. But all in all, it's an enjoyable evening. Could have been a little sharper, but I had a
I
nice
thought
time.
I thought it was fine. I thought it panned it a little bit, but I expected
How many
that.
playbills would you give it?
Well, we save that to the end, don't we?
No, not. We're making a few changes. So how many playbills?
We are making changes.
Yes, we are. How many? 1 to 5. 5 being wonderful, 1 being
I would give it 3 3/4.
really. I would say 3.5. So we're pretty close on this.
We are.
Okay.
That's Wishful Drinking at where's Studio 54?
Studio 54, where ironically she
She partied a bit,
yes may have done a little drinking there. Okay.
maybe a little more.